Jai Shri Radhe Krishna. Whenever you face any problem, whether big or small, in your life, these 30 teachings of the Bhagavad Gita will be highly beneficial. It is essential to understand these sacred teachings and incorporate them into your life. These 30 sermons will be presented in reverse order, starting from the 30th and concluding with the first. Therefore, listen to the video carefully until the end to receive its full wisdom and blessings. The 30th teaching of the Gita states, Ashvameva bhukt vyam kritam karma shubha shubham. This means that every action you perform, whether good or bad, will have consequences that you must inevitably face. If you have done good deeds, knowingly or unknowingly, they will help protect you in difficult times. Conversely, if you have committed wrongful acts, you will have to face their repercussions. No matter how secretly a person carries out their actions or how cleverly they manipulate situations, divine justice prevails. It is said that God observes everything as if there are cameras installed all around, keeping an account of our every step. A story of karma. Two friends lived in a village and struggled to earn a living. They decided to move to the city to seek better opportunities. After several years of hard work, they accumulated a considerable amount of wealth and decided to return to their village. Since there were no modern transportation facilities at the time, they traveled back on bullock carts. One night, they decided to rest in the forest. One friend volunteered to guard the money while the other went to the market to get food. However, greed took hold of the one guarding the money. He thought, if I kill my friend, all the wealth will be mine. With this evil thought, he poisoned his friend's food. When his friend returned and consumed the poisoned meal, he died on the spot. The greedy man took all the money and returned home. Years later, his wife gave birth to a son. However, the child was always sick, and all the wealth he had accumulated was spent on his son's treatment. As the child grew, his father lamented, "Why are you always ill? I have spent my entire fortune on you, yet you do not recover." To his shock, the son replied, "Which son and which father? I am your friend whom you poisoned in the forest. I have returned to settle my debt. Now that my revenge is complete, my life ends here." This story illustrates a fundamental teaching of the Gita. No matter how cunning or clever one may be, wrongdoings will always have consequences. No one can escape their karma without facing its results. The 29th teaching, the root of suffering. The Gita states that the primary cause of suffering is attachment. Have you ever noticed that all your sorrows arise from something or someone you consider your own? When we develop a strong attachment to material possessions or relationships, we become vulnerable to pain and disappointment. Consider this story. A wealthy man built a magnificent palace using all his life's earnings. His palace became the pride of the region, attracting visitors from far and wide. Over time, the palace became his identity and the source of his happiness. One day, while he was away at the market, his palace caught fire. Seeing his beloved home engulfed in flames, he was devastated and declared, "If my palace is gone, I have no reason to live." Overcome with grief, he attempted to jump into the fire, but someone stopped him and said, "Brother, this palace is no longer yours. Your son sold it yesterday." Hearing this, the man immediately calmed down and watched the fire as a mere spectator. However, moments later, his son arrived and clarified, "Father, I only spoke about selling the palace, but the deal was never finalized." Upon realizing that the palace was still his, the man was once again consumed by sorrow. The palace remained unchanged, yet his emotions fluctuated based on ownership. This illustrates how attachment leads to suffering. The Gita teaches that the moment we believe something or someone belongs to us, we invite sorrow. The key to peace is detachment. The 28th teaching, live in the present. The Gita advises, live in the present and stop worrying unnecessarily. Those who dwell in the past or obsess over the future can never find true happiness. Life exists only in the present moment. Yesterday is gone, and tomorrow is uncertain. The only reality is the present. If you keep your mind trapped in regrets of the past or anxieties about the future, you will never experience joy. Learn to embrace the present. for that is where true happiness lies. The 27th teaching, do not tolerate injustice. The Gita teaches that one should never tolerate injustice or wrongdoing. If you remain silent in the face of wrongdoing, you indirectly encourage further sins. Arjuna once hesitated to fight against his own relatives and teachers in battle. But Lord Krishna explained that righteousness must always prevail. Allowing injustice to continue only leads to its escalation. If someone wrongs you and you silently endure it, they will take your silence as a sign of weakness and continue their misdeeds. However, if you stand up against injustice, you not only protect yourself, but also prevent further wrongdoing in society. The 26th teaching, do not be overly attached. Attachment leads to suffering. The more deeply you become attached to someone, the more they have the power to hurt you. Many people remain blind to their own suffering due to attachment, failing to see when they are being disrespected or mistreated. Attachment clouds judgment, making it difficult to distinguish between right and wrong. The Gita advises that one should maintain love and compassion without becoming excessively attached, for attachment leads to emotional bondage and suffering. Understanding the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. If you truly want to understand a person and see their reality, it is crucial to detach yourself from them as soon as possible. Attachment is the root of suffering. The moment attachment ceases, no relationship can cause you pain because it will no longer affect you emotionally. The 25th teaching of the Bhagavad Gita, follow your own path. Swadharma nidanam shreya, paradharmo bhayavaha. This means, it is better to follow one's own duty imperfectly than to perfectly perform another's duty. Lord Krishna advised Arjuna that his foremost duty was to act according to his own nature. Arjuna, overwhelmed by the horrors of war, expressed his desire to renounce everything and become a monk. However, Lord Krishna reminded him that renunciation was not his true duty. As a Kshatriya, warrior, his responsibility was to uphold righteousness and eliminate evil. Similarly, every person has a unique path and purpose in life. One should not blindly follow societal trends or the masses. If you merely follow what everyone else is doing without considering what is right for you, you will get lost in the crowd. However, if you pursue what aligns with your true nature and talents, you will stand out and achieve fulfillment. The 24th teaching, betrayal comes from those closest to you. In life, your own people often betray you because they know your weaknesses. Strangers cannot deceive you in the same way, as they do not have intimate knowledge of your vulnerabilities. However, those closest to you, who understand your strengths and weaknesses, can manipulate and hurt you deeply. The Mahabharata itself is a testament to this truth. The war was not fought between two different kingdoms, but among family members of the same lineage. Duryodhana, out of jealousy and greed, repeatedly tried to poison and kill Bhima. The greatest battles often take place within families, not with outsiders. Therefore, in Kali Yuga, one must be cautious not of strangers, but of those within their own circle. The 23rd teaching, self-protection is essential. Tasmat sarvesu kalesu mam anusmara yudhyacha. This means, remember me at all times and fight. Lord Krishna told Arjuna that life itself is a battlefield. One must stand strong against both happiness and sorrow. Krishna never advised Arjuna to sit back and wait for divine intervention. Instead, he emphasized that while God holds the strings of our lives, we must fight our own battles. Some people believe that God will take care of everything while they remain idle. However, even God does not help those who do not help themselves. He provides wisdom, strength, and guidance, but ultimately, we must take action to protect ourselves and shape our destiny. The 22nd teaching, avoid destructive habits. The Mahabharata war was triggered by a gambling addiction. Yudhishthira, consumed by the game, wagered not only his wealth but also his kingdom, brothers, and wife. Similarly, in life, harmful habits, whether addiction to substances, excessive mobile phone use, or any other detrimental behavior, can lead to complete ruin. If you allow a bad habit to take control, it will eventually destroy everything you have. Before your habits overpower you, you must conquer them. The 21st teaching, laziness leads to failure. A lazy person can never achieve anything meaningful in life. Many people dream of success, a big house, luxury cars, world travel, but they are unwilling to put in the hard work required to attain these goals. Success does not come from mere wishful thinking. It requires persistent effort. If you want a fit body, you must exercise. If you want a good life, you must work for it. Laziness not only prevents you from gaining more, but also leads to the loss of what you already have. The 20th teaching, master your mind for true happiness. If you want happiness in life, stop being a slave to your mind. Many people know what they need to do to improve their lives, yet they fail to take action. They understand what is harming them, but remain trapped in their habits. This happens because they allow their minds to control them instead of the other way around. For instance, many people struggle with unhealthy eating habits. Despite knowing that certain foods are harmful, they find it difficult to resist temptation. True success and peace come from mastering your mind and doing what is right, even when it is difficult. The 19th teaching, what is meant for you will come to you. Stop mourning over what you have not received in life. The more you cry over something, the further it will slip away. However, if something is truly yours, it will find its way to you. Instead of wasting energy on regrets, trust that what is meant for you will come at the right time. The 18th teaching, attachment brings suffering. The more you attach yourself to people and material possessions, the more pain you will experience. Love deeply, but do not cling. The root of all suffering lies in excessive attachment. The 17th teaching, control anger for inner peace. A person who gets angry at every small issue can never experience true happiness. Anger drives away friends, disrupts peace of mind, and leads to suffering. By reacting angrily, you risk losing what you already have. If you seek peace, learn to control your emotions and practice patience. The 16th teaching, never intentionally hurt others. Whether you choose to help someone or not is your decision, but never intentionally cause harm. When you break someone's heart or inflict pain on them, the universe ensures that one day you will experience the same suffering. At the moment of causing harm, you may not realize its impact, but when you endure the same pain, you will understand its depth. The 15th teaching, true friends stand by you in difficult times. The ones who stand by you in adversity are your true well-wishers. Many people pretend to care, offering sweet words and empty promises. However, in moments of real struggle, most will disappear. People often maintain relationships based on personal benefits. When they see no advantage in helping you, they walk away. True relationships are revealed in times of crisis. Those who stay with you through hardships are your real companions. There is no benefit in expecting help from others, but when people are required to assist you, they often turn away, avoiding you from a distance. That is why only those who stand with you during difficult times are truly yours. The rest of the world consists of mere acquaintances. Simply claiming to be someone's own does not make it so. The 14th teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Whatever happens, happens for good. Whatever is happening is also for good, and whatever will happen in the future will be for good. This profound truth helps us navigate life's uncertainties. Often we wonder, why did this happen to me? But as time passes, we realize that if certain events hadn't occurred, we wouldn't be where we are today. Some misfortunes may even have saved us from greater harm. When we embrace the idea that everything happens for a reason, we find peace and happiness in life. The 13th teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Perform every action with wisdom. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Many people work hard but do not achieve success. They often complain, despite all my efforts, why am I not succeeding? The truth is, success does not come from mere effort, but from the right effort in the right direction. Smart work combined with wisdom leads to real accomplishments. The 12th teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Avoid extremes in all aspects of life. Do not overindulge in anything, whether love, hatred, comfort, or even food. Excessive sweetness can spoil, and too much bitterness is unbearable. Overeating leads to illness, while excessive fasting weakens the body. Likewise, too much sleep causes laziness, while too little rest can be harmful. Life is about balance. Losing this balance often results in misfortunes. The 11th teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Those whom you value the most often take you for granted. Have you ever noticed that the people who disrespect you the most are often the ones you hold in the highest regard? While respecting others is a virtue, excessive deference can sometimes diminish your own worth in their eyes. Always maintain self-respect and never allow anyone to take you for granted. The 10th teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Truth and righteousness always prevail, no matter how strong the opposition. The Bhagavad Gita contains 700 verses across 18 chapters. The concluding verse states, "Wherever there is Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, and wherever there is Arjuna, the wielder of the bow, there lies victory, prosperity, and unwavering morality." Dhritarashtra repeatedly asked Sanjay about the outcome of the war, believing that having Bhishma, Dronacharya, and Karna on his side guaranteed victory. However, Sanjay emphasized that ultimate victory lies where God and truth reside. No matter how powerful one may seem, those who stand with righteousness and divine grace can never be defeated. The 9th teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Never trust blindly. In the Mahabharata, Duryodhana repeatedly plotted against the Pandavas, attempting to burn them alive and eliminate them through deceit. Despite this, the Pandavas continued to trust their relatives. Although divine intervention protected them, their misplaced trust nearly cost them their lives. This serves as a lesson to always remain cautious and discerning in whom we trust. The 8th teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Avoid unnecessary conflicts, but stand firm when your honor, dignity, and rights are at stake. Arjuna initially refused to fight in the Kurukshetra war because his own kin stood against him. However, Lord Krishna reminded him that the battle was not merely about war, it was about justice. Draupadi was humiliated and injustice was done. In such situations, one must not remain passive, but must stand up and fight for what is right. The 7th teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. No matter how difficult the situation, those who never lose courage will ultimately succeed. The Pandavas lost everything in gambling and were sent into exile for 12 years. They wandered through forests, faced hardships, and even begged for food. Yet, they never lost hope. In the end, they emerged victorious. This teaches us that as long as we have courage and resilience, we can overcome any obstacle. The 6th teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Never take possession of what does not belong to you. After being deceitfully exiled, the Pandavas built a thriving kingdom from barren land. Seeing their success, Duryodhana, consumed by jealousy, conspired to seize their kingdom. Ultimately, his greed led to his downfall. This teaches us that unlawfully taking what is not ours will eventually lead to loss and destruction. The 5th teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. True success lies in inner happiness. Many appear happy outwardly, but suffer inner turmoil. Wealth and achievements mean little if one's soul is restless. Real success is when one finds inner peace, contentment, and joy. The 4th teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. The food you eat influences your thoughts and actions. The Bhagavad Gita categorizes food into 3 types: Sattvic, pure and balanced; Rajasic, passionate and intense; and Tamasic, dark and harmful. A person who consumes pure food develops a pure mind and peaceful thoughts, leading to a righteous life. The 3rd teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. A wicked person will never change, no matter how kind you are to them. No matter how much the Pandavas tried to be good to Duryodhana, he remained determined to harm them. Evil people will continue their ways regardless of your kindness, so it is best to deal with them wisely rather than trying to reform them. The second teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Fear of death is futile. From the beginning of time, birth and death have been a part of existence. Worrying about an inevitable fate is pointless. Instead, live in the present without fear, accepting the natural cycle of life. The first teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Time is life, value it before it slips away. A person who does not manage their time wisely loses everything. If you waste time, life will eventually slip away without meaning. Success and fulfillment come only when time is respected and utilized effectively. Final thoughts. Anyone who reflects on these 30 teachings of the Bhagavad Gita daily will gain strength and wisdom to navigate life's toughest challenges. The path of righteousness always leads to victory. If you found value in this video, please give it a like and comment Jai Shri Radhe Krishna below. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.